Hello everyone, it's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel, tap that notification bell, and like this video. That does help me to keep making videos, and I would appreciate it majorly. So, the Minneapolis officer, or former officer, Mohamed Noor, who was on trial for 3 different charges: second-degree manslaughter, third-degree murder, and also second-degree murder of Justine Damond, or Damond. The woman who was 40 years old, she was a dual citizen of the United States and Australia, who had actually placed a 911 call that evening because of a disturbance in the alley, the back alleyway behind where she lives. I think she believed somebody was being sexually assaulted. She placed the call. When the officers showed up, she ended up getting shot by one of the 2 officers, Mohamed Noor. So, and he's been found guilty on 2 out of 3 of those charges. The most severe, he wasn't found guilty, but it's still a big shock. It is. The circumstances under which he fired his weapon were definitely sketchy from the very beginning, which is, I think her husband, as well as the family in Australia, have pressed for answers since the very beginning. So he was found guilty on second degree manslaughter and third-degree murder, but not guilty of intentional second-degree murder. So, but he's still facing for third-degree murder, which is causing the death of another person without the regard for human life, but without intent to cause death. The presumptive sentence for that is typically 12.5 years. Second-degree manslaughter, which is creating unreasonable risk of causing death, the presumptive sentence for that is 4.5 years. So I don't know if he's facing, if those would serve, I don't know the terminology, consecutively, if he's going to end up possibly looking at 17 years or what. Either way, it's an extended sentence that he's looking at. He was taken into custody following the hearing. His lawyer requested that he be free on bond, but that was denied, and he was he was handcuffed and taken into custody until his June 4th sentencing. His wife was in court crying today. The jury deliberated yesterday as well as today, 5 hours Monday and 6.5 hours today, Tuesday, and then came to their decision. He and his partner had testified during the trial. His version of events was that when the car pulled up, he claimed to hear a large bang. And then when the woman approached the window, she raised her arm. He feared for his partner's life, so he drew his weapon and shot her. That's his version of events. He testified during the hearing, and his partner, Matthew Harity, during the investigation by the Minneapolis Police Department. That version of the loud noise, prosecutors questioned whether the loud noise was even real. And that version of the loud noise wasn't told to investigators until 3 days after the incident, and his partner was the one who said that. He himself, Mohamed Noor, didn't cooperate or didn't sit down with investigators at that time. So he testified at the hearing, like I just said, and prosecutors definitely questioned his version. They asked his partner, Matthew Harity, basically, Mohamed Noor claimed that his partner, I think, was having difficulty pulling his service weapon, so he did it faster than him, and he feared for his partner's life. But when his partner was asked under testimony, Matthew Harity, had he been able to get his weapon out quick enough, would he have fired? And he basically answered no. I mean, that's not exactly the question that was asked to him, but that's the paraphrase of it. So both Matthew Harity and Mohamed Noor, cried at different points during their testimony, And the jury was 10 men and 2 women, 10 men and 2 women. 6 people of color were on the jury, and that included the 2 women, you know. So I think he's Somali, of Somali descent. I don't know if he was born in Somalia or here in the States or what. It's an interesting, it's an interesting thing, because Amber Geiger was just talked about today in an earlier video, and it's a similar situation, except she's a white cop. It's not exactly a similar situation, but you have a white cop that's going to be on trial for murder, and now you have a black cop that was on trial for murder, for shooting a white woman, and he's found guilty. And he's now looking, I don't know what his appeal process is, I don't know what the prospects of that would be anyways, but it's an interesting contrast for sure, and you're going to hear plenty of opinions on this, especially once, but her trial isn't set for September, after the summer. All right, well, that's the story there, man. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.